Well, let's bring you back to what is our top story this hour. The meeting coming up in around 2 hours' time between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. In Jerusalem for us is our correspondent Noga Tarnopolsky, who's covering developments for us from there. Noga, as I say, this meeting expected in around 2 hours' time, a press conference at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. From where you stand, though, from the Israeli perspective on all of this, what are Netanyahu's priorities, would you say, going into this meeting with Trump?
Hello, Nadia. Let's first say we have not been promised a press conference, just that the two leaders will be meeting. So we're fingers crossed for that. Benjamin Netanyahu's priorities are to leave this meeting on good or even better terms with Trump, and yet not to antagonize his own base back home. His followers, his political right wing has been very antsy in Israel, unsatisfied with his handling of the war, unsatisfied by a spate of very serious allegations that Netanyahu's top staff were on the Qatari payroll during this war, unsatisfied in general. So he wants to have some meat to throw to the base when he comes back. And what that means is, for example, finding some way to delay an announcement by President Trump that second phase of the ceasefire is indeed going to start, finding some way to stave off Turkish involvement in the day after the war in Gaza, finding a way possibly to even scuttle the Saudi deal with the United States to acquire the stealth bomber, the F-35s. All of this is on Netanyahu's agenda, and none of it is promised to him. Donald Trump does feel very friendly towards Netanyahu. We've seen that for many months. But President Trump has also shown himself willing to even humiliate Netanyahu, as he has done several times in this first year back in office. So it's very much wait and see. And Netanyahu has quite a bit staked here.
Yeah, and just expand a bit upon that for us, Noga. The relationship between these two key players here, Netanyahu and Trump. I mean, how would you characterize their relations right now?
I would characterize it as a bit of a mystery, a bit of a riddle. There have been numerous times when Donald Trump has even publicly gone against Netanyahu. I can give you several examples. When Israel attempted to retaliate with a massive bombing over Tehran in June, just hours after Donald Trump had imposed a ceasefire in the Israel-Iran war in June, um, Donald Trump put a stop to it to such an extent that he forced Netanyahu to call back fighter jets that were in the air. And he then announced it in public. In September, even more recently, Netanyahu addressed the UN and on a Friday afternoon, September 26th, if I'm not mistaken, and announced that the war was not over, that Israel would still get the job done. I'm quoting here. Monday, midday, he was standing next to Donald Trump, very much contrite, having been forced to publicly apologize to Qatar for a failed attack against Hamas top echelons in Doha. And he was standing next to Donald Trump announcing a ceasefire, the end of the war in Gaza. So the relations are not simple. Nonetheless, Donald Trump has for now avoided a really harsh or open public clash with Netanyahu of the sort that he's had with other leaders. We all remember that event in the White House with Volodymyr Zelensky. So things are very much up in there. And in Israel, their relationship is a bit of a mystery. Because of these, we know about these very much tense relations or even disagreements in terms of national aims. We know that Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, and his chief Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, are really impatient now, not only with Hamas, but also with Israel for breaking the terms of the ceasefire, and that Donald Trump has really held back. So we're waiting to see what happens with this meeting.